Hello, this is Shan Chandrasekar welcoming you to another delightful part of our programming. As a tribute to 100 years of Indian cinema, we've been doing profiles and some of the topmost film stars of India, motion picture producers, directors, and some of the finest playback singers from the Indian subcontinent, spanning over 3 different generations. One such great artist is none other than your favorite, Mohit Chauhan. Mohit, such a
Hi.
pleasure having you in the program.
Hello, Shan. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Cool, and thank you so much for calling me on your show.
It's a pleasure having you. What a great artist you are. Tell us about your recent award, especially this big song that became the biggest hit, Masakali from Delhi 6. Tell us about it.
Masakali is a very, very special song for me. Was composed by Rahman Saab for a film called Delhi 6. And it's a milestone in my career because it got me my first Filmfare Award, which are the biggest awards for the Indian movie industry and the oldest awards, you know. And it was a privilege to be associated with that beautiful film and with Rahman Saab for this project. And I think it's a lovely song. It's a great tune. It's a great composition, like Rahman Saab's all other songs. And yeah, just a very special thing for me.
That's wonderful. Can you just hum the first line from there, please, for me?
Masakali, Masakali, Ud Matakali, Matakali, Masakali, Masakali, Ud Matakali, Matakali. Zara bang jatak gayi dhool atak.
Wow. Let's talk about Pilon from Once Upon a Time in Mumbai. That was another big hit for which you received the Filmfare Award.
I got Radio Mirchi and Producers Guild Award.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and a couple of others.
Okay.
It's a lovely tune from this film called Once Upon a Time in Mumbai.
Right.
And the song was composed by Pritam. Now Pritam, you know, has given me some very beautiful songs to sing.
Right.
And he's a very dear friend. I know Pritam from the days when I was recording with Silk Route, you know, in early '97
Right.
In Mumbai. And it's always a, you know, a pleasure to work with Pritam.
Let's talk about Silk Route because Duba Duba was one of the biggest hits that captured the hearts of millions of people in the country. So tell me about your group Silk Route, and you took the initiative, you know, along with a couple of your friends to form that group. Tell us about it.
Well, you know, I should start from telling you I was born and brought up in Himachal.
Right.
In the mountains in the north of India.
Right.
Small Himalayan state, you know, and my hometown is a place called Nahan. That's where I was born, and you know, but then I studied all over Himachal. So there was, when I was growing up, I had a huge amount of influence of the folk music of that place, of Himachal. It's extremely rich in folk music. And then listening to a lot of Hindi film music, a lot of Western music. So all these influences were, you know, coming on to me when I was growing up. And I started playing the guitar, and I used to play the harmonica. During the time when I was doing my master's in geology in Dharamsala, that's the time I actually composed this song called Duba Duba. And that's what I remember. And I would just keep looking at the beautiful Dhauladhar mountain range over there, and the beautiful snows against the blue sky, and strum my guitar. And also, you know, do like okay in my studies, but also spend my time, you know, hanging out the mountains and playing music. So that song became the first song to get released from that album called Boonde. So from Himachal, when I came down to Delhi first, I was looking for a job, and somebody suggested, you know, somebody who'd heard a couple of my jams, suggested that, oh, why don't you make some music? And, you know, I said, but who's going to, you know, give me a job like that? Because I was always playing music for myself, you know, I'd never been inside a studio at that point of time. So he said, no, you can do the music. And I said, okay, maybe I can try. So I got to do a couple of jingles, you know, in the beginning, and to make a living in Delhi. And I left home and I started living in Delhi. That's when, you know, I made friends with these couple of guys. One of them was from Himachal, and the other guy was from Delhi. So all three of us came together, and we used to spend our evenings playing the piano, guitars, clarinets, flutes, harmonica, and singing and harmonizing. That's when this sound, you know, was coming up. And that, you know, as a consequence of that, Silk Route was formed.
That's wonderful.
And the first album we released was Boonde in '98. And Duba was the first video that came out. And the song, you know, people love the song even today. You know, about 15 days back, 10 days back, I was singing in a concert in Delhi, and you know, all the kids were singing the song with me.
Wow.
In a university, in a college.
Yeah.
And those kids must have been like 5 years or 8 years old, you know, when that song was released. So the song has come sort of transcended, you know, and also the video was appreciated very much because it was the first underwater sort of a video that came out. So I think, yeah, Silk Route was there, and Duba Duba was a beautiful song, you know. And
do the first verse for us, you know.
Oh, okay. Duba duba rehta hoon aankhon mein teri, दीवाना बन गया हूँ मैं चाहत में तेरी गुजरते नहीं रातें कटती नहीं.
For a music video for that time, this is prior to the year 2000.
That's right.
That was superb quality. That was really, really well done.
Absolutely. It was a concept video, you know, the kind of video that, you know, nobody had done before.
Right.
Duba Duba, and it was extremely well appreciated.
Right.
And that year, you know, it gave us all the awards, the best video of the year, best song of the year,
right,
best band of the year, and it was just beautiful.
That's wonderful.
It was a lovely beginning, you know, to
fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned about Pritam. You know, I think that during that time it was Pritam and you who did the first combination together. He gave you the first hit song, if I remember right. Is that correct?
Okay, you can call it that.
Yeah.
You can
so
call it that.
which was that song?
That song was Tumse Hi.
Oh,
from
yes.
a film called Jab We Met.
Oh yes, okay.
You know, made by my very close friend Imtiaz Ali. And I sang for Imtiaz Ali again in Rockstar.
Right.
You know, he's the same director.
Right.
And Tumse is an amazing, amazing song. It's a beautiful composition. In fact, Pritam once commented to me that of all his songs, you know, if he wants to name one song which has in longevity, would be the real longevity. You know, he said, I think Tumse Hi would be one of those songs, you know, of his.
Hum Tumse Hi for us, please.
Tumse Hi?
Yeah.
ना खोना ही है तेरा ना होना जाने क्यों होना ही है तुमसे ही दिन होता है.
Tell me about the importance of orchestration in a composition, because you yourself as a musician,
That's right.
in addition to your skills as a singer, you're able to feel for a song because you play the harmonica and you play the acoustic guitar as well.
That's right.
Tell me how it has helped you in your singing career.
Well, I think it all just came naturally to me. And like I told you before, I was studying science.
Right.
So it turned out that I was a completely self-taught musician. I learned all my music and guitar by watching people, by hanging out with friends, you know, who would do that, jamming up with them.
So you didn't bother reading and writing music, but you did it. You played by ear then.
Played by the ear.
Oh, fantastic.
And by the heart, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's
and
wonderful.
by my instinct, and I followed my instinct.
Right.
So even now when I sing my songs, or when I imagine a tune,
right,
it's purely by instinct, you know.
Sure, sure.
And but I think instrumentation is amazingly important, and the understanding of that comes, you know, really handy when you're composing a song.
Right.
When you're able to imagine things, you know, and like for example, I sing and strum the guitar.
Right.
That, you know, in a way sort of takes me through the groove of the song.
Right.
Because I'm strumming something on the song.
Right.
On the guitar.
Right.
I'm playing a groove at the same time I'm playing the root chord, the note.
Right.
But my voice could be playing on a different groove at the same time.
Absolutely.
So it's like, you know, doing 2-3 different things at the same time.
Right.
And sometimes when I play the harmonica. So I think it mostly comes naturally.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Indian music evolved more from the traditional music side of India, the classical and all that. There was not enough room for harmony, whereas Western music had a lot of harmony.
Right.
But you brought both East and West together in your group in Silk Route, for that matter. Tell us about the importance of harmony in mixing it with Indian music.
Yes. Well, when I was growing up, I was listening to a lot of Western music, a lot of bands from America, England, Europe, and I still listen to their music. And they sort of, you know, made me feel all those things that they were doing. And it took me into a different world, you know, when I was growing up in Himachal Pradesh in the mountains, and I was listening to that music on the radio. And then when the band was formed, you know, like in a band, you have 2, 3 people, 4 people.
Right.
So, like one of my band members had Western classical training
in
England. You know, he came to a school after his 11th. So when we would, sit down and compose a song like Duba Duba, for example, certain parts of the song, we felt that, we could harmonize it,
Right.
use different notations on top of the other notations
Right.
to beautify it,
Yeah.
And that's how the idea of harmonizing came to us, and I think it came pretty naturally to me at one point of time.
That's fantastic. Well, Mohit was just talking about the importance of harmony. Here is a classic sample of this brilliant, harmonization. Let's go on to the next one, your big hit again, Best Male Playback Singer, Sada Haq from Rockstar.
Ji.
So tell us about that song.
Okay, Sada Haq, is from a film called Rockstar.
Yeah.
And Rockstar is again a huge milestone in my career.
Right.
Film made by Imtiaz Ali,
Right.
a very dear friend. Music composed by A R Rahman Saab.
Right.
Again, I really, really love that guy, and it's amazing to be part of his music. And especially when I go to his studios,
Yeah.
I feel beautiful. There's a beautiful spiritual kind of a energy that I feel over there.
Right.
And Rockstar became a huge milestone in my career because Imtiaz Ali and Rahman Saab, put their heads together and they decided that they wanted one voice for the character that was being portrayed by Ranbir Kapoor in the film.
Right.
And fortunately for me, Rahman Saab said Mohit Chauhan, would be the right voice. And I was extremely fortunate that he thought like that. So I ended up singing all the songs for Ranbir Kapoor in the film, which was about 9 to 10 songs. And Sada Haq is one of those songs. And the most amazing thing about Rockstar is that the film is, I got to sing all different kinds of songs. I got to sing travel song, I had to sing a romantic song, a Sufi song, a very passionate, semi-Western classical kind of a thing. Oh, beautiful, yeah. A very haunting, very, very funny kind of a song. I mean, I went through all the genres in that film, and Sada Haq is a song which talks about the angst of the youth and the injustice, that the youth, that the young feel about this world and about the society in general. So that got me, my second Filmfare Award, and apart from the other songs. And yeah, it was just amazing. Even now when I sing at the concert, Sada Haq, it makes people jump up on their feet. And, it's got that fire to it, the song. And the song is in a really high key. So when I first sang the song in the studio, I did the song and everything was nice. Next day in the morning, I sort of went through the song, took a couple of more takes on the song. And the song just flowered, it became more beautiful. And when we heard it later on, Rahman Saab was smiling and he said, yeah, good job. And so, yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, I was really fortunate to have the song Sada Haq.
Joby May from Rockstar, another big hit. You was Best Playback Singer again.
Gee, I mean, God's been kind, and what else can I say? But Joby May is again a very, very beautiful composition.
Yeah.
Like we were conversing before the interview, when I met you, and you were mentioning the song has a complete feel of rock and blues,
Yeah.
And it has a very international kind of a sound.
Yeah.
I guess that's where I feel that the music of a Hindi film industry has also sort of evolved,
Right.
And
the blues was almost like
absolutely.
the Mississippi John Hurt style of blues,
That's right. And there are many different genres of music and styles that are now being incorporated, in our film industry.
Right.
And also because in this film, Rockstar, Ranbir Kapoor is playing a musician, a contemporary modern musician,
right,
who has the roots, but is very contemporary, is international in his outlook to music, and who can imbibe and incorporate many different styles of music just by his soul.
Yeah.
He feels like that. So Joby May, I got the Filmfare for that.
There's another movie of yours that was just absolutely a classic, Tujhe Bula Diya.
Kali Kali Raaton Mein, yeah.
So sensitive. So tell us about that particular song.
Oh, well, this song, people just love it. Whenever I go for concerts, whether it's university or it's a corporate show or, it's a public show, it's a show in a stadium, the chorus of the song, most of the times I don't sing it, you know. I just sing the song. When the chorus comes, I point the mic towards the audience, and everybody sings Tujhe Bhula Diya Oh. And it's a song by Vishal Shekhar. And I think this is one of the most beautiful songs, actually, from Anjana Anjani.
Yeah.
Again, Ranbir Kapoor rendered the song. And yeah, it's an amazing song.
Singing in playback in a film is very different from singing live on stage. And you are a master. When you're on stage, you capture everybody and you interact with them.
Yes.
So tell me about the adrenaline in you, how it gets going the moment you get on stage.
But you know, before that, I just tell you that being a playback singer, like, you know, I've heard many Western bands and everything, and I've been listening to music, you know, since I was really young. But doing playback, Hindi playback music, singing is a very tough job, you know, because, you know, always you have to be out of your comfort zone. You know, because when you go and sing for a film, you might be required to sing a sad song today. Tomorrow they'll ask you to sing an item song. Third day they'll ask you to sing a qawwali. You know, fourth day they want you to sing a bhangra song.
Right.
So you have to be versatile. You have to, you know, keep flying from one zone to the other.
Wonderful.
So it's not really easy, but you know, once you get into the flow, and but that's what happens on stage also, because on stage, you know, when you travel from one song to the other, I think it's your passion that keeps you going. I love to interact with the crowd. You know, I love to make them sing, like that song "Jo Bhi Main." It has that yeah yeah yeah, oh yeah yeah. Everyone sings with me, you know. So when they do that, that pushes me more, you know. And I think that's what a musician feels when they perform live. You know, it's the interaction with the crowd, is the energy that you receive and you give back to them, and you become one, you know, for that hour and a half or 2 hours. And there's music, and you know, so it's amazing that way.
You talked about singing different mood songs at different days for recording. Also, the music director and the producer and the director of the film have come and told you that you're now going to be singing a song this time for Ranbir Kapoor.
Right.
Next time you're singing for someone else.
Absolutely.
So now tell me about the psychological framework of yourself. Where do you think your voice, you know, suits most, or does it universally suit everybody?
Oh, I think my voice suits many people, you know, that I've sung for.
Right. So in other words, consciously, you don't really have to change your voice. You be yourself, and then they have to adapt, frankly, to the way you've sung, right?
See, for me, when I'm doing a playback song, my job is to project the emotion that I'm supposed to project in that song to the fullest, to its most rounded, you know, self. And like I sang a song called Saans from a film called Jab Tak Hai Jaan for Mr. Shah Rukh Khan. And so he's singing that song of mine. And I went and saw that movie. That was the last movie Yash Chopra ji made. And I went and saw the film, and when I saw Shah Rukh Khan Saab singing my song, I thought, my God, my voice was really suiting him, you know. And because he's a romantic guy, you know, and he's an epitome of romance in Hindi films. And I thought my voice is really suiting him. It looked beautiful, you know, it sounded beautiful. And when I saw Ranbir Kapoor singing Tum Ho, you know, in Rockstar, he did a great job, you know. So I think once I've done my job, it's the actors, you know, who have to take over and sort of bring that song to life. Because it can't be a one-way thing, you know, because playback is I'm singing for an actor, for a character, you know. So when that character comes alive on the screen and he mouths my words, and he sings those words with the same sort of passion or tries to bring it as close as possible, that's when it sounds like one. Like, for example, the perfect example for that is Rajesh Khanna Saab singing in Kishore Kumar
voice,
Kishore Kumar Saab's voice. You know, whenever not only me, I mean everybody, you know, who sit in a cinema hall and watch a film of Mr. Rajesh Khanna and Kishore Kumar singing the song, you could never tell, you know, who's singing. You thought it was Rajesh Khanna Saab singing the song. So I think once the song is done, then it's the actors who bring them alive on the screen. You know.
There was a live event in which you and Rahman performed together. And that was the Nadam Parinde or something like that.
That's right.
Song, again, that's from Rockstar.
Rockstar.
So tell us about that particular song, that you do it together.
Well, again, I was extremely fortunate that, you know, I got the opportunity to share a song with Rahman Saab, you know, and Nadam Parinde is one of them. even in the film, you know, when the song comes up, Rahman Saab, he starts the song, and then I take over, and we both end it together. So I've been on quite a few shows with Rahman Saab, and it's a great pleasure, you know, when me and him walk up onto the stage and sing Sada Haq and Nadam Parinde together.
Musicians, I've heard, they are truly sensitive, you know. Are you sensitive as well?
I don't know, that's for the other people to judge. But yes, I'm sort of, I stay in my own little world. I'm a little cut off from the reality, harsh realities, you know. I like to cut myself off, actually. And yeah, but it's all right.
When you sing other people's songs, obviously you're more structured. But when you compose your own, you need space, you need time, you need to be creative.
That's right.
I know Himalayas excite you and nature excites you.
That's right.
So tell me about that. Is that because of your childhood upbringing in such a beautiful, you know, no pollution where you grew up?
Yes, you know, it probably has something to do with that. I grew up in the Himalayas in this beautiful small state of Himachal Pradesh, which has snowbound, you know, mountains and rivers and apple orchards. I think the mountains or nature, you know, per se, is very conducive to any kind of artistic pursuit, you know.
Right.
Whether you're a sculptor or whether you are a painter, whether you're a writer, you know, living in a beautiful wooden shack somewhere high up in the mountains, and, you know, getting to see the sunrise and the sunset and different colors and hues on the forest will make you dream, you know, will transport you, you know. And that's what art does to you. That's what music does to you. You know, when you listen to a song, in a couple of seconds you're just gone, you know.
Wow, yes.
So yes, I love nature, and nature is a huge inspiration to me.
That's
always is. Yeah,
that's wonderful.
Yeah. So when staying in Bombay becomes a little hectic, because Bombay is a hectic city, a lot of people on the roads everywhere, you know, a lot of work. So when I need to get away, then mountains seem like, you know, the best place actually too. And then you can walk in the hills, you can hike in the mountains, spend a night outside gazing at the stars. So yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
You have an illustrious family because you know, your better half, you're married to a very intelligent lady who's also a respected journalist.
Gee.
So tell me a little bit about your family. You know.
My brother stays in Himachal, and he's a bureaucrat. You know, he did his civil services, and my parents, my mother and father, they live in Nahan, the small town. My dad's retired now. He was working for the government, and my wife, of course, writes for a very reputed magazine in India, one of the foremost magazines. And she writes about political matters, actually. She's a political journalist. But she has great understanding of music, of lyrics. She's very artistic. So a lot of my music, you know, when I make music, when I write something, you know, it's quite natural for me to sort of ask her, you know, what does she feel about that?
Sure.
And, you know, invariably she, you know, puts me in the right direction. It's nice. It's beautiful.
You've had a chance now to see our operation.
Gee, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing because you were telling me that your father started the whole thing, you know, in 1950s and 60s. And now you're here, you know, and you translating and doing programs in 50, 60 channels and so many different languages at the same time, you know, and you're reaching so many households. Like you were saying, you know, you are all about arts, culture, spirituality. I think it's a great combination, and you're doing a great service to this country and to the community.
Thank you.
You know, and I think very rarely you find people who have, you know, done so much and so dedicatedly, you know, as you and your family and your, you know, whole team over here. And thank you so much, and I really wish you guys all the best.
Mohit, it's such a pleasure having you in the program, and we are very proud of your accomplishment. All the best, and keep up the great work you're doing.
Thank you so much for calling me on your show.